before I add the color and show you how to do this, quick review. Make sure that before you add color, you take a look at your line work, because what we're going to do is we're going to take this vector and we're going to rasterize it, and once we do that, you can't really go back and edit very easily. So we don't want any big gaps. That's one. And what we want to do is we want to clean up any overlapping lines, and you also want to decide like your line thickness. All right, so if you want to add thickness or change any lines, do it now before we do our next step. All right, so before we add color, we do need to do a few things. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to expand our stroke. So to do that, you want to select all your curves. Now in my case, I have my head and my body on a separate layer, and I already cleaned up the head the last time, so now I'm going to just concentrate on the body. So I'll select that top curve, and I'll come all the way down to the bottom, hold down Shift, and select the bottom curve. Then you're going to go up to where it says Layer, and you're going to find Expand Stroke. So Layer, Expand Stroke. You hit Expand Stroke, and your line is now expanded. Once your line has been expanded, what you want to do is you want to come back up, and you're going to use your Boolean operations here, and we're going to use the last one, which is divide. So we'll hit divide. All right, so once that's divided, you can go through and start cleaning up your lines. Let's zoom in here. So black arrow or your move tool will select objects, and you can see I'm going to select this line and delete it, this line and delete it, this line and delete it, this line and delete it. Oh, that's a little small one. It's okay, it can be a little tedious, but you know, take the time, do it well. And there we go. And you'll continue to do that throughout. All right, clean up your lines, and then once the lines are done, we're going to rasterize them. So clean up your lines, and then we will rasterize. I have gone through and kind of done all my line cleanup. So now it's time to take these lines, and we are going to rasterize them. If you look over at my layers, I have a ton of layers, right? So kind of like Illustrator, every time you make a new curve, it makes a new subtool or sublayer, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to select, and I'm going to cruise all the way down to the bottom, hold down Shift. So now I have all this selected. You could also just click marquee drag. You just have to make sure everything is inside of that when you release. Once I have all that, I am going to group it. So either you're going to right mouse click and you're going to hit group, or you're going to hit Control G. So now that it's grouped, I want to be very careful here. There's two things that I want. One, I do want to keep my original line work. All right, so make sure that we come over to this group, we right mouse click, and we make a duplicate. So we have two of them. All right, so once you have two, take one of your groups, and you're going to go to Layer, and you're going to choose the word Rasterize. So once you do that, it's going to say Pixel. So Pixel, this is now made up of pixels. So when you're going to work with pixels, you have to go into this area, your pixel persona. It's kind of like, think of Photoshop, okay? So here we go. Now we have pixels and we can work with pixels. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add color to our line work.